You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast. My name is Megan. I'm a wedding photographer and videographer based in Connecticut and soon to be based in Alaska in the Pacific Northwest. And today we are going to do a deep dive into a year to date, my business. Hello. This podcast is a partnership podcast between me and Jen from the Vintage Horse. She runs a mobile bar company that services weddings and events and corporate things and just pretty much all of the above. And she has recently outsourced a bunch and now has a team of bartenders. She has 2 trailers. They're converted horse trailers, and she's just the coolest and is getting into her public speaking era. And she's an event planner through and through. And she has brought that in through her mobile bar business, and currently is doing a phase of events about mompreneurs, because she's a mama too and is running this incredible 6-figure business. And so she advocates that for other ladies, and it's just good people. She's good people, good energy, and I love to hear her speak. So she's busy right now with all of that, and I am recording a solo episode. And I think the last solo episode, because sometimes our schedules just don't align mutually. So I think the last solo episode that we have aired on here is her solo, and I think I was the one that was busy. So, you know, you can hear from us both here. Most of the time we're actually together and we're in person, bouncing off each other, talking about things mutually, and it's more of a conversation. But with us being separate today, I thought it might be kind of interesting to do a year to date of the weddings and sessions that I've had so far. So I'm going to open up my calendar, and I'm literally going to go one at a time through each wedding and session that I've done and talk about them, just because I'm just wanting to express my gratitude and just really relish in the moment. As I mentioned when I opened up the podcast episode, I am moving next summer across the country. I live in Connecticut, New England, so I'm next to New York City and sandwiched between Rhode Island and Massachusetts, that little corner of the world. And moving across the country, I'm really, really excited. It's been a long time in the making. And now, instead of feeling stuck, I'm switched now that I have an end goal in sight and kind of a date that I'm getting there. Now, instead, when I think about being in Connecticut and my, remaining time here, instead of being upset and struggling with it, I'm more set free and excited to go. But now, I don't know, just appreciating, you don't know what you have until it's gone, kind of a thing. And I know that I'm going to be gone, and so I'm appreciating what I have before it actually is gone. So I still live with my parents. I didn't go to college, and I just never left. And I started this business, and it's been fantastic, and I've loved every moment of it, but struggled with the fact that I was still at home and didn't really have an office space, and just struggled with, I struggled for a really long time to live and work in one room, sleep next to where all my work is, because then I just end up working in bed, or I would end up working and not sleeping enough, or, there was just not a good work-life balance there, until I decided to leave. And then I was like, let me transform things here and set myself up better for success. So I don't want to say remodeled, that's not the right word, because I didn't do anything, but I rearranged all the furniture in here and set up this corner of my room to be my desk, and it faces away from my bed, and it just, it's pretty separate. I put in cabinets in here to hide all of my photography equipment so that when I wake up in the morning, if I'm not working that day, I don't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. So anyway, long story short, you guys didn't need to know that, but let me open up my calendar. I'm also battling the very last pinch of allergies. It is May 13th right now. So I came back from Oregon. I went to Oregon last month for a retreat and styled shoot. So I shot 4 different model couples there. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of out of breath from the allergies a little bit too. So just bear with me, guys. But coming back from Oregon, I just like got hit with a bunch of bricks with Connecticut allergies, I think. Or maybe it was also partially stuff that I was breathing in Oregon. And then coming back here, oh my God, the pollen has been like snow here. It's like coating all of our cars. Driving, you can see it like falling out of the sky. It's been pretty brutal. And I know I'm not the only one that's dealing with it. So that makes me feel a little bit validated. But anyway, my calendar's open. We'll start with this with January. Okay, so my first wedding of January, I was second shooting. It was January 3rd, a Friday. My good friends Ava and Zach at Woodside Productions, they are a husband-wife photo video team, and I photographed their wedding. I like associate shot their wedding for them, gave them the SD card, and they did all the editing, and they paid me like an associate shooter, except they were the clients. And so that was really fun. And that's how we met, and we've become friends since, and we shoot for each other. And actually, I think I've only second shot for them. I don't think they've shot for me, because every time I reach out to them and ask them, they're always busy. And I just love them. But they've modeled for me before, and they've hosted a styled shoot that I've attended. They've modeled at mine. We have a good business bond. And so I was planning to second shoot for Zach for photography. Ava is going to PA school, like the queen she is, and so she's very busy with that. And so they're doing this business and juggling it with her also being in pretty much medical school. So I was supposed to be second shooting for just Zach, but then it turns out Ava was available. And so then she was able to like lead photograph the wedding, and they were like, well, you already had the date secured. You were counting on the money. Just come. And I was like, okay. So I got to hang out with them both, which was really fun and a really good start off for the year. Except that they didn't exactly need me. So instead they were like, just shoot behind the scenes of us and get extra angles, if applicable at the wedding. But like, maybe we can use this as a marketing opportunity to have a professional photographer take pictures of professional photographers doing their profession. And I was like, I really love that idea. And so I'm actually doing that after this. It was such a good experience. Now I'm doing it for another friend of mine. Her name is Lala. And in September, I want to say, I'm going with her to a wedding that she has. And I'm going to photograph, film her. And it's all content and stuff that she can use on her website and on social media and make TikToks out of, and just, boost her brand with her shooting real people instead of, just a branding session or something. It's like her at work. It's legitimate. So that was really fun. I got to film Ava and Zach posing and take pictures of them posing, because it's so cute having a husband and wife. And I do this with my second shooters a lot that are just my friends. We'll like reenact the poses together and be like, okay, we want you guys to wrap your arms around each other. And so anyway, or like frolic like this, hold hands like that. And even Zach did a bunch of that, and so it was really cute to get pictures of them modeling how they want the couple to pose, and it was just really cute. So I got a lot of content like that, and that was my first wedding of January. And after that, I think it was a maternity session. Oh no, actually, okay, that's coming up. That was coming up. Next after that was a snowy couples family session. Another photographer friend of mine, Lauren, hello. She and I have been friends for, oh my gosh, since her daughter has been around. I remember we had smoothies together in New Milford, and was in a little carrier, and she was so small, and we just went out to dinner together the other day, and she was like chatting up a storm and potty training, and it was just, I can't believe how fast time has flown with business. Like it's just crazy to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna meet Lauren for dinner, and then it's like, wow, where has the time gone? And that was just one of those things where I was like, wow, her daughter is old, and I can't believe that already. So anyway, I did like a snowy shoot for them. We just timed it out well. She texted me, she was like, let's do a snow session the next time it snows, we'll link up. And I said perfect. And so I met them in New Milford, and we went out into a field, and it was super cute. and I hadn't really done much or any snow photos before. Believe it or not, living in New England.
Elevate your photography business with Narrative Select. Focus more on creating and less on repetitive tasks like checking eyes, focus, or matching skin color tones. Say goodbye to slow software, load raw files in seconds, review images instantly, and export your selections to Lightroom in style with just one click. Call your photo shoots twice as fast using Narrative Select. Try Narrative Select plus Edit today with 1,000 free edits with the link below.
We don't get snow. We don't get snow like we used to. But we did have a really good winter this winter, better than Alaska. Alaska had to bring in snow for the Iditarod. And we actually had a colder, more snowy winter than the Anchorage area did this year. So that was kind of weird. And anyway, long story short, that was really fun. And I'm not a family photographer, but, you know, if the right person asks, sure. It's like, I don't like the stand here and cheese. And that's all that it is. Like, I'm not marketing myself as a family photographer because that's not what I love. And also, I just love couples. Couples is my thing. And so it was pretty much Lauren and her husband. But then, you know, we had to throw in a couple family photos too. So, but it was different because it was very candid and in the moment. And, you know, they walked around, they ran around, they tickled her, they laughed, they played. It wasn't, you know, stand here and stare my camera dead in the eyes. You know, it wasn't like that. So, just different, but that was really fun. And then February 1st, I had a proposal at Powder Ridge which is a mountain in Connecticut. It's not it wouldn't be my top choice to go snowboarding, but like Connecticut doesn't have a lot, so it is Connecticut's option. Besides maybe Mount Southington. I like Southington. I'd only been to Powder Ridge. I'd never been to Powder Ridge, actually, to snowboard. Maybe once when I was, like, 10, my dad took me skiing. I think we went there. But this proposal, oh, my goodness. They had booked another photographer, and they posted in a photography group chat that I'm in on Instagram, being like, hey, I have this proposal. They booked me, but I just found out from the mountain that they don't let you take the ski lift back down. You can only take the ski lift up, and then you have to snowboard or ski down. And they don't let you ride back down. So she accepted the booking to like meet them at the top and capture the proposal. But then when they were going over the logistics, she was like, oh, they won't let me just, you know, I have to go down on my own. And so they were like, we can't, I'm not taking the booking anymore. I want to refer somebody. And I was like, I'll do it. I'm not a good snowboarder, but I'll bring my boyfriend. And so they ended up booking with me. So excited. It went really well. Jake came with me and he held my camera for me because I can snowboard, like not well, but I can. And so I was like, if he can come with me and carry my, you know, $1,000 equipment, several $1,000 equipment, and I can just worry about myself, then that's fine. So that's what we did. He came with me and he filmed everything on his iPhone, and I was able to send the couple, you know, that, and I took photos of the proposal. So here we are. We're at the top of Powder Ridge. We're waiting for them. We're looking for them. The husband told, and with their kids, they had 3 or 4 kids. 4 kids, I want to say, or 3 kids, I want to say. He told his girlfriend that he booked a family photo shoot at the top, and just for a couple of pictures. They were from out of state, and this was their first time skiing. They're from like a warm climate state, and so they'd never been skiing. And he was like, I wanted to capture the moment, so I booked a family photographer, so we'll meet them at the top. I'm sorry, I needed a drink of water. So I'm waiting for them at the top. He tells me like what color jacket they're wearing, and I am waiting. I'm ready. And I meet them. We take a couple family photos. Very stand here and cheese, but that's kind of what they wanted. They wanted like a touristy, or he wanted it to seem like it was a touristy kind of, you know, just whatever. And so so we take a couple pictures, and then he gets down on one knee, and it's inside a gazebo, because I told him to meet me at the gazebo because it's like a good landmark at the top. I was trying to get them out of the gazebo. We did a couple pictures inside, and as I'm saying, okay, I would love you guys to take a few steps out, he gets on one knee as I'm saying that. And I'm like, oh, shoot, okay, so here we go, it's game time. So I'm walking towards the gazebo, and I'm like, okay, I wasn't exactly prepared. I wasn't exactly prepared. I was going to instruct them to come outside the gazebo so that it wasn't so dark and they had a little bit more space. And just so that they'd be a little bit closer to me also, because we're on top of a mountain. Granted, it's more like a hill, but still, we're at the top. It's snowy. I'm in my snowboard boots. I'm in my literal getup. I still have my helmet on, as do they. They don't have their helmets on, but they have their boots on and all the things. And they're inside this gazebo. And so the gazebo, obviously, it's like on top of the mountain, but it's like on a little bit of a hill. And so it's sunny that day, and the snow pooled a little bit by the gazebo because the gazebo obviously weighs something. And so it was kind of slushy and slick by the edge of the gazebo. And so he gets down on one knee, and I'm like, oh shoot. So I'm walking down. I'm taking photos, and I'm walking down towards the gazebo, and I slip in the slush, and I, splat out on my back, and I get back up, and the groom is like getting off his knee, and then he looks over at me and he's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I'm like, get back to your woman, get back to your proposal. And we carry on. And then we take a couple pictures of just the two of them, a couple of the family, and nobody mentioned it. And we literally just forgot. We pretended it didn't happen. Meanwhile, Jake is behind me filming everything on his phone. And he got me perfectly falling in frame. Like, I walked into frame in the video to fall down. And it was so funny. And I've talked this story to death already. And so that's why I'm not laughing, because as soon as it happened, I couldn't stop. I sent it to all my friends. I said, you won't believe what just happened. And I made a TikTok about it. I made a reel about it, and it got a lot of traction. It was really funny. And I actually got some inquiries being like, hey, I want you to do my proposal. I saw you fall down. The other one, will you do mine? I hope you're okay. Oh my God. And that one didn't work out. I was already booked that day. But just so fucking funny. So I was really excited about the inquiry when I first saw the photographer kind of back out. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never done a proposal before, and like, this is such a cool adventure kind of thing, and it fits me and my brand so well, and hopefully I can do more stuff like this in the Pacific Northwest, and this is just perfect. And then I ate shit, and it was just so funny. So that was the proposal. Went home, edited the pictures, sent them. They loved them. Bada bing, bada boom. It was pretty much over. I trimmed the video to stop right when I fell and texted it to the couple. Hold on, I need a drink of water. Oh my God. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Next in my calendar, there's something in here that says Newtown shoot. I don't remember what that means. Newtown shoot. Give me a second. Give me just 1 second while I think. Newtown shoot. I don't know what that means. Oh, yes. Okay. I swapped headshots with some friends. I don't really need to chat about that. It was with Lauren and my friend Jackie, and then my friend Megan. And that was really fun. And it was at a studio that I went back to for a branding session for my friend Christina from Wild Lily. And that was really nice. But 2 separate occasions. Let's see. The next thing was... Sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, this was so sad. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to talk about this, but I suppose I will. I can edit it out if I want to. Next was March 13th and 14th. 13th, I had an elopement. Really weird. The town, where were we? Bridgeport? No. Stamford? I forget what town it was, but this couple was from Stamford? Norwalk. Couple was from Norwalk, and she reached out to me to be like, oh, I want to elope at Hartford City Hall. But I got my marriage license from Norwalk already, and they are telling me that I have to get married in Norwalk. And I said, that's really weird. I don't think so. I think you just have to turn it back in Norwalk. But we had some kind of language barrier, and she was really excited about Hartford City Hall, but they also didn't have the date that she wanted. They wanted to get married on the 13th, and they only had the 14th available. So she was like, you know what, whatever. How about we do a ceremony on the 13th, and then on the 14th, we'll meet you again at City Hall just for portraits. And I said, sure, that's fine. I'm not very busy in March. I would alternatively, if it was, September or something, I would have put in an extra fee for having 2 different dates, like an extra deposit kind of thing for 2 dates. But because I had nothing else going on, I was like, you know what? Yeah, girl, let's do it. I think I put in a little bit of travel because of the 2 separate days, but I didn't put in like anything extra out of that. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. So let's go. So I gave her a little bit of a deal. I met them on the 13th. They had their ceremony. It was very cute, short and sweet, because we were planning on doing pictures the next day. So they were in literally a t-shirt and jeans. It was really cute though. They had like matching crew neck sweatshirts that said their new last name or her new last name together, like Mr. and Mrs. with a little like icon on it. And it was really cute. They wore sunglasses and it was like a vibe, except it was like middle of the day, harsh light. And I was like, I don't really love these, but I'm going to see them all day tomorrow. Or not all day, but I'm going to see them for like a good 45 minutes tomorrow. So I'm not going to worry about it. Not going to stress. I'll see them tomorrow. Okay. So then I'm on my way to Hartford City Hall. Meanwhile, oh my gosh, wait a minute. At that elopement, I dropped my camera in the parking lot. Smashed my 24-70 lens. Said, oh, perfect. Oh, great. Okay, perfect. And then I took a deep look at it, saw that it was just the screen protector. I have like a UV protective filter on every lens, and so I could tell it was just that, I hoped, but I couldn't get it off because there was glass stuck in between that and the lens, and every time I tried to unscrew it, I could just hear glass scraping, and I was like, I'm gonna mess this up worse. I can't do this right now. And so then I had to shoot their elopement ceremony on my 50, and it was fine, but they were inside a gazebo, and it would have been nice to get like really great good wide shots, and I still did. I got like one, but I had to walk pretty far to do it, and the ceremony was already short and sweet, and I would have loved to get closer details of their ring exchange and stuff like that, but I kind of felt like up in their grill. So I did my best with my 50, and honestly, it was fine. Like the photos came out the same as they would have. It just took me a little longer. Like there would have been a little more photos in the gallery if I hadn't broken my lens, but still it was more than probably was required. So it was fine, but smashed my lens, literally dropped it in the parking lot on the way to the session. Like I stepped out of the car and dropped my camera on the ground. And had, like a meltdown in the car on the way home, obviously being like disappointed in myself. I punished myself a lot. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. So, and I was also vlogging all of it. Vlog has not gone out. Will it ever? I don't know. I was vlogging a week in my life kind of thing. And I finished filming it, and I've only edited up until that moment. And I don't know if it's also partially because I don't want to relive it again or what, but I just haven't gotten around to finishing the edit of that week. And we'll see if it sees the light of day. But you guys maybe leave me a comment, some words of encouragement, and maybe I will finally get to it. But next day, here we are. So I go home and I got it off eventually. The screen protector, the lens has a little scratch in it. I can't use it for video anymore, but I can still use it for photo just fine. It focuses. My camera wasn't damaged. The lens wasn't damaged besides a little scratch. So that's unfortunate, but it's not bad. I can still use it. And I'm not going to get rid of it yet. Maybe I'll get rid of it when I move. Because I won't need two 24-70s when I move. I have them both now because when I do video, a lot of times I give my equipment to second shooters, and I won't be doing photo and video combos really, unless it's like a really teeny elopement or something. When I move, I'll only be doing one service or another, probably. So anyway. So next day, it's now the 14th of March. And I'm on my way to Hartford City Hall. Meanwhile, I'm still vlogging. And I'm texting her and I'm like, I'm on my way. See you at, I forget, like 7 p.m. See you at 6 or 7 p.m., whatever it was. See you there. And she's like, I'm going to be a little bit late. And I respond, hey, it's okay. Because I live like a little over an hour away. And I always account a little time for traffic. So, I was like, oh, don't worry about it, because I thought maybe I was stressing her out saying, oh, I'm already on my way, even though I was leaving really early. So I was like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I'll see you when I see you. And she was like, I'm going to be like late. I'm going to be late. And I was like, well, okay. I was like, well, you have Hartford City Hall booked for an hour. You only have me booked for 45 minutes. So, it's okay. If we're shooting still until 7, even though your end time with me is 6:45, it's okay. It's March, so I was like giving her that too, being like, it's okay. Like, I'm not that busy right now. Like, it's okay. I'll give you some special treatment. And, I'm at the gas station because she told me she was going to be late. So I was like, I guess I can go get gas. So I went to go get gas, and she texted me again being like, I'm going to be really late. I'm still in my hair and makeup appointment. And meanwhile, I'm halfway there, and I live a little over an hour away. I'm halfway there. Like, she hasn't left her appointment yet. She's not dressed. She is nowhere close to being on the way. And, I was like, if she rushes, she'll only make it for 10 minutes more of her reserved hour at City Hall for what she paid for. So I was like, okay, like, hopefully I'll see you when you get there, and we'll do, at least like 10 minutes, hopefully. And maybe there's no reservation after you, because they're kind of like picky there. Like, people reserve and they pay for it, and, like, somebody else could have been coming in. So I was like, hopefully, nobody else will be there, and it'll just be us, and maybe we can go overtime or shoot outside. So then I get there, she gives me the form so that the security guy can buzz me in, and I get there, I walk inside, I get my cameras out, I'm turning them on, I'm getting ready, I'm doing all my normal things. I'm going to pretend like they're on their way. And then she calls me as soon as I walk inside and sit down, like, I have my cameras ready, and as soon as I sit down to be like, okay, I'm waiting. She calls me, and it's just like, Megan, and my heart broke for her in that moment. I felt so bad. She called me and she said, we're not coming. Like, there's no way that we're going to make it remotely on time. We haven't left yet. We're still in Bridgeport. Bridgeport is further from where I even live, and the City Hall was over an hour for me to get there, and she would have been further from where I even started. So I said, oh, no. And now looking back, I'm like, I should have, like, not should have, but I could have stepped in a little sooner when she was still in her hair and makeup appointment, where I could have been like, ooh, she's not going to make it. I could have stopped there and been like, okay, well, where are you? Like, physically. Like, I didn't know I knew she was from Norwalk, I think, but, like, that's sort of more where I live. I'm not too far from that area. So I should have in that moment been like, get out of your hair and makeup appointment and let's meet somewhere else. Like, I should have done that instead of being like, okay, I'll be see you there. But I didn't know until she got on the phone with me that her husband was going into the army the next day. So I'm on the phone with her, like, hoping that we can reschedule, that we can go back to City Hall a different day, or we can go to a different location or something, that we can find a different time. But she's like, no, like, he's going to the army tomorrow. I was like, I can't help you then. And I feel so bad, but they got their photos of their ceremony, and I guess that's the most important part. But still, my heart kind of broke, and I wished that, like, and I went home and I, like, talked about it to my mom, and I just felt so bad that, like, how hard it must have been for her to go to her hair and makeup appointment, have me text her being like, oh, I'm on my way, and have her be like nowhere near ready, and be like, oh, like, the anxiety that, like, I'm feeling now for that is like, there's nothing she could have done. That's not her fault unless she scheduled the appointment too late, like, she can't, like, like, she's kind of stuck. She can't just get up in the middle of the appointment and leave, like, she's not ready. And then to like, have her appointment be done, have her hair and makeup be finished, to go home and have to wash it off after, like, I just felt so bad to, like, get your hair and makeup done, see what you look like in the mirror, how beautiful you are, what it could have been, is like what your imagination goes to, is like, oh, what could have been, like, this is how, like, looking at yourself in the mirror, like, I could have had pictures of myself like this, but no. And then just to wash it off and waste your money too. It's just so heartbreaking. So that was a major bummer, and I refunded her the money I kept for the first day, and because I gave her photos of that, but I refunded her for the other, and I hope that when her husband comes back, we can just do it again, because I so sad. All right, next. So sad. Next, my calendar says I second shot for Woodside again for Ava and Zach, but I don't remember that. I don't remember shooting for them twice. So I think there's an error there. I don't think that happened. I think one of those happened, and I don't remember which one it was. I don't think the first one happened. I think what I talked about in January actually was March, which was this next day after the elopement. I don't know what it's in my calendar for January 1st. I don't know what that is. I don't remember that. So I don't know what's going on with that. But okay, then I guess the next day I did behind the scenes for Ava and Zach. I don't know, sorry. Okay, and then I did a head shop swap the next day with my friend Brianna, and that was fun. We went to Topsmead, which is one of my favorite spots for engagement sessions. That was really nice. And then the next thing I had towards the end of the month, I ended up writing session with Christina. And then again, I went to Topsmead for an engagement session with Anna and Tian. They are having their wedding on October 31st, Halloween. They're having a Halloween wedding. And I will unfortunately be out of state. I go to this, guys, don't laugh. I go to this llama conference every year. Yeah, it was like a high school. I worked at this farm when I was in high school, and now I'm part of this llama organization, and I run their website, and I do their social media, and they have a photo contest, and I run their photo contest for them. I guess they do like an annual conference, like educational conference, where vets come and speak and do lectures, and it's a whole big shebang, and I go there for that every year. Maybe not when I move anymore. I probably won't come across the country for that. Maybe I will, and then also maybe we'll stay in the area to do shoots and stuff. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead, and it doesn't matter at this moment in time. But if I'm local, I'm gonna go, and I'm local, and so I'm going, and I'm gonna get content for them, and I film some of the classes for them, and it's really fun. And this year it's in Ohio. It's usually around like New York, Pennsylvania area. But and I guess Ohio kind of still is. But yeah, it's in Ohio. So I'm probably going to be flying to Ohio and doing that. But I got this really great inquiry, and I told them that I had associates from my team that could capture it, and they were into it. And so they booked. And so my friend Kim and Yali are photographing their wedding. And so at the end of March, we had their engagement session, and Kim came with me, and the two of us photographed them at Topsmead, and it was so much fun. And Kim and I loved their outfits. That's like the first thing I want to say. We love their outfits. I've been looking for Anna's shoes, and I've been looking for Anna's jeans, and I can't find them anywhere. She told me that she got her shoes at Kohl's, she thought. And I went into Kohl's like ASAP after the shoot, and I didn't see them. And I was like, damn, they were really cute. They were like square toe booties. So she was wearing like boot cut jeans, and they looked like cowboy boots, but with a heel. But then she like pulled up her pants a little bit because we asked her about her shoes, and they were just like little high heel booties, and they were so cute. But I loved the square toe. They looked so comfortable, and she was running around, jumping. They were they were moving and grooving, and she looked so comfortable. And I was like, I feel like I could shoot a wedding in those shoes based off of how much she's jumping around. And it was so much fun. They were fantastic. I love movement prompts. I love guiding people in a way that feels really natural as much as I possibly can, and just getting people to feel comfortable. And you know, every couple that I meet, they're like, we're awkward in front of the camera, we don't know what to do. Everybody says that. And so these were one of those couples that was like, I don't know what to do. They were just like really anxious. And so it was really it's like, well, that's like one of my favorite hobbies. I like love pulling people out of that and being like, no, you're not. Stop. Like, everybody says that, and no, you're not. You are photogenic. You are. And just like believe it. And so that was it. We just, moved around a lot. And Kim had some really cool ideas, and it was so fun because this was my first engagement session of the year. And so I was a little nervous. She was a little nervous, and it was really fun to be able to bounce ideas off of each other. And we were both very inspired. And, once I did a pose, and then I got kind of drained, and I was like, I don't know what to do next. And I stalled. She'd like pick up on that, and then she would do her thing and vice versa. And so, we literally went back and forth, like popcorned it. And it was really fun. So that was sick. And then the next day, I had my first wedding of the year for my business, and it was Olivia and Dylan's day at High Point Gardens. I had never been to High Point Gardens before.
Deliver your galleries like the pros. Looking for a clean and professional look for your client photo galleries? PicTime is the perfect place for you. Explore all their delivery options and automations, enticing your clients to make prints earning you extra cash. Add watermarks to your photos with pay-to-download options or free high-res downloads. PicTime is now offering a blog editor, slideshow creator, built-in store, marketing automations, and more. Earn 1 free month of PicTime using the code below. That's 1 free month of PicTime with the code below.
Smash. It was fantastic. They had a chapel on site, and I gotta turn my camera off. They had a chapel on site, and then they had, pretty much ballroom vibes, but elevated in a way, and I really digged it. I would go back. I'm not like a ballroom girl. I don't love venues like that, but this one was different, and the people were really nice. The staff was really nice, and the on-site, hold on, what's that? Oh, leaf blower. The on-site chapel was really cool. Like, they had really pretty stained glass windows, and I just loved how private it was. Like, everything was in one location, and it was just very convenient and beautiful. And I would love to go back in the summer or the spring or the fall when stuff is actually blooming, because March, there were green shrubs and stuff, I guess, but I could see the potential for a garden, and we just didn't get that in March. So I would love to see it again another time, but I'm moving, so we'll see. If anybody wants to bring me back to Connecticut and book me at High Point Gardens, hey, I'll take it. So Olivia and Dylan, they were so nice. This was my first time meeting them. They didn't do an engagement session. I booked them. It was like a normal sized wedding, but I booked them as a micro wedding with like a smaller package, because it was a Thursday in March. She was super sweet and chill. She didn't have any expectations really. She just like wanted a bunch of candids of the day, and it was just a really chill, great first wedding of the year. And then she added on video after that, and I was like, okay, and it was going to be just me and Vanity, love. And then looking at the rest of my year and securing second shooters, I added in two or three actually new videographers to my team this year. And I was like, you know what, this is the perfect opportunity for somebody to come and train a little bit. And so Yali, who I mentioned already, she is associate shooting some photo and one video with Vanity. And so I was like, oh, this will be great for them to reconnect with each other and for Yali to experience video with her, because Vanity is one of my go-to girls, and so that was really great, and Yali did fantastic. And so that was that. That was really cool. They didn't do a highlight video, but they did a documentary video, which is pretty much like a 30-minute long or so more, pretty much just cut to cut all the good raw footage, polished and color graded, which is fun. And I have a blast making those, honestly. There's like no thought. It's very mindless. It's the same as doing a photo gallery. Like I can watch TV in the background. It's just syncing the audio and making it polished and putting in text and just, tying everything in a bow. It's really nice. It's still time consuming like photography is, but way faster than a highlight video is, because that takes a lot of thought and, picking the right music and, just getting everything together. It just takes a little bit longer to do that and pull together the aesthetic, if that makes sense. But we'll get into what I did today for work, because I did a highlight video today. I put in the bones for the highlight video today. Okay, next. April. All right. April 16th. Okay, I was cat sitting for a week in the middle of April. The week before I went to Oregon. Yes. I was cat sitting for these really cute cats who are very clingy. And they're like dogs. Like I walked in the door, meow, meow, meow. They're like coming up to me, rubbing up on me already. I haven't seen them in over a year. And they were just so excited to see me. And so they're so cute. But like, it seems crazy to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm unavailable, I'm cat sitting, like for an elopement. So I got this elopement inquiry and I was like, damn, I wish I could take it, but I have to watch these cats, because like, that's crazy. Like they're cats, you should be able to leave a cat alone for a couple of hours. But truly, these guys, like, you can't like truly know, like they needed me. And the family, I didn't even ask if I could take the elopement, because I've sat for them 2 other times, and I don't think I've had sessions, but I've gone out to like dinner or something and come back and they're like antsy for me to get back to their place. And so I was like, you know what, I already had this commitment. I don't want to ditch. And it was another Hartford City Hall wedding, which is far and further from where I live. So it would have taken even longer. And so I was like, ugh. It would have been like an hour and a half commute plus the hour shoot. And I was like, I don't know if I can, I don't know. So I was like, let me just feel out the couple and see about the potential for having associates. And they were down. And I was like, okay, well, perfect. This is a win-win-win situation. An associate gets some work. They don't have to edit. I get a new piece of business and they get a great photographer. So Ashley, my friend Ashley Krupa, she photographed this elopement and did fantastic. Dropboxed me this stuff either that night or the next morning, like ASAP. It was incredible. And I got them sneak peeks the day after the wedding, and it was fantastic. And I stayed with the kitties, and it was wonderful. So that was that. Delivered their stuff like really soon after. Like that was one of the fastest galleries I think I've ever done. And Olivia and Dylan were really fast too. I think I delivered their photos before their 1 month anniversary, and I think their video on their 1 month anniversary or something, or like within the couple of days of that. And I remember patting myself on the back and being like, damn, I did that quick. But that's because I didn't have other shoots to edit much. I mean, I had the engagement pictures from Anna and Tien and then this elopement, but that was that was it. It was like a very nice slow start, and I felt very grounded because I was like getting stuff out, and I still am. I'm still ahead of schedule, and I feel so good about it, and I really want to keep that energy going, and part of that is accepting help. And so I have Talia, who comes in to help edit. She started last week. She came in once last week today, and she's coming back tomorrow. And tomorrow it's going to be our mission to finish Cameron and Jake's wedding gallery and get that off tomorrow or Thursday. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm working on an elopement photo and video gallery that was also with associates, different elopement from the one I was just talking about. So moving on to the next thing, the week after the kitties, I was in Oregon for the model sessions and the retreat and the workshop, and it was fantastic. But I'm going to be talking about my bookings. So I'm not going to talk because that would be a whole separate episode. I have so much that I would get into. Like, I don't even know what I can say in a 2-second span. Like, I can't. So it was amazing, period. And I really, oh my gosh, I can't. Okay. The next thing that my business photographed was the elopement that I just mentioned. Okay, perfect. So we'll get into that. So I had a wedding to photograph in Sterling, Connecticut, which is on the Rhode Island border. Very far. Backyard wedding vibes, except it wasn't in the couple's backyard. The venue, the people that own the venue actually do live there, so it is their backyard, but not the couple's backyard. So I loved that wedding. Oh my gosh, let me talk about that first. Christina and Nick, I love you to pieces. We did their engagement pictures at Harkness last fall. I don't remember the day exactly, but at Harkness, because they live over on that side of the state. And it was a blast, and I had so much fun with them, and I think they had fun with me, and it was just really, it was great. It was a great experience. And I was just so looking forward to their wedding, and they delivered. It was a blast. Justine came with me. We carpooled because it was just so far. And we had so much fun. Backyard vibes, tented wedding. Her dress was white with this like purple flower kind of pattern. It was like sheer, so it was kind of like watercolor looking, and it was just gorgeous, and I just loved all the candids all day long, and it was just right up my alley. It was like very validating. It was really good. So I already had that wedding booked. Oh my god, they had a tattoo bar, temporary tattoos. I have some on my arm still. Temporary tattoos. I wish they were real. That would have been so cool. It still was cool. They had so many fun activities. They had Jenga. They had a big Connect 4. They had a little mini golf course. Hello? They had a bonfire. Their tablescapes were gorgeous. They did the goblet farm style table. She hand painted all of these tall candlesticks. Oh my gosh, that was great. It was so great. I loved it. I just love that couple. It was great. They didn't even do a first dance. Like, that's how chill and like micro and intimate it was. Except there were some other guests. But they did their ceremony privately, with the closest family and friends, like parents, siblings, grandparents, probably aunts and uncles, maybe some friends. But then guests didn't arrive until after that for like cocktail hour. So that was really cool. I really loved that timing, and I've seen that before. Shannon and Dylan did that at a wedding last year I photographed. It was like intimate ceremony, and then guests arrived for cocktail hour, and then dinner and the party. And that was really cool that, they wanted to keep it small, but instead of eloping, they still celebrated with the people they wanted to celebrate with, and still even that day. But they got to keep their private moments private, and I really liked that they like respected their space and made like that boundary. That was really nice. And while I was there, we had an elopement at Hartford City Hall. Vanity filmed it, Lauren photographed it, and it was fantastic. And I did their ceremony video yesterday. I did their sneak peeks within a week then Lauren and I went out to dinner. And so that's circling back full circle to the beginning of the episode. We met, she gave me the SD cards, we had dinner. And then I did their sneak peeks. Loved, sent those off. Then I worked more on Cameron and Jake. And now I'm going back because I finished Cameron and Jake. And now Talia is getting rid of exit signs and fire alarms. There's like something on every wall in that venue. And so all of the photos of the reception, there's like 5 things to take out of the background of like literally almost every single photo. And I feel so bad, but because that takes so long. And I just want to get their photos off. And so it would be faster if I did it. But at the same time, it's like Meghan doesn't need to be the one to be doing that. But Meghan does need to be the one to edit this highlight video. So I'm trying to delegate. I'm trying to put things in like a hierarchy of need. And the need right now, I don't need to be removing exit signs. Somebody else can do that. And so I'm letting somebody else do that to get everybody their stuff done as soon as possible. Not just the people that book in chronological order, everybody, you know? So Talia is going to come over and finish Cameron and Jake tomorrow. And I'm going to hopefully do their highlight video tomorrow. So yesterday I did their ceremony video, which I really needed to do because I wanted to do their highlight video first and I told her that I would, but getting it started, like I found the music, I put it in order they had a violinist there, so that was really cool. So I spliced that into the music a little bit in a way that sounded really nice. And then I was starting to get their audio, because that's usually what I do first, is I do the audio first and then put visuals. So audio meaning dialogue. And I was starting to do that, but then I was like, for me to be doing this, like I'm watching through their ceremony footage right now to get the audio, I might as well watch their ceremony footage by editing their ceremony video. So I was like, I guess I'll just do that first, because then I'll get all the footage synchronized with the good audio and it'll be less work. Like it'll be faster this way. So I did their ceremony video yesterday, and then today I watched it back like twice. So also that was nice that I watched their footage like 2 or 3 times yesterday and then watched it again today, fresh eyes, but soaked in from yesterday. Watched it twice or so, and then I went in their ceremony timeline in Premiere, and I cut all the little snippets of the best audio that I really liked from what the officiant said and from their private vows, and, cut their ring exchange and their I do's and stuff, and pulled that in to a new timeline for their highlight, put it in a good order, and bada bing, bada boom. So that was really good. That was fantastic. So I have the audio all done. The video is going to be 4.5 minutes, I think, which is a little long for an elopement, I think, because I do full weddings for like 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7, but I usually go for like 5 minutes. And this 1 hour elopement, or I guess it was a 2 hour elopement, I think. Is also 5 minutes. So I was like, but there were so many good things that they said. And honestly, I was struggling to squeeze it in the 4.5 minutes. So, but that's the way that the music ended nicely. And if I wanted to do more, I would have to get a different song, and it's an elopement. And honestly, it does all fit. So anyway, so now my mission tomorrow is going to be to, put in all of the footage that I want. And that is the fastest part, honestly. The hardest part is the audio, and I don't know why today I went through it pretty breezy. So that felt really good. Like, I think just the more I practice, the more that I work, the faster it gets. And I've experienced that with photo, because I've been doing this since 2021 professionally. So I've been doing this, and this will be my 4th year in business, I guess. 2021 to 2022, 2022 to 2023, 2023 to 2024, 2024 to 2025. So in July it will be my 4th anniversary, and then we'll be going into my 5th year. For September will be my 5th September, but this is going to be my 4th July, whatever. Anyway, not important. Gosh, what was I saying? Oh, just that I get better. Like, it gets faster. it gets faster, the process gets easier, you get more of like a habitual, into it. And so I think I'm just having that. And like I did have a nice ease into video because I did Olivia and Dylan's documentary. I just did this couple's ceremony video. And so their highlight was like the fastest I've ever done it. Even though it's not done, it's only halfway done. But like tomorrow when I go to put the footage in, it's going to be like, it's going to be so much fun. Except I'm going to be distracted a little bit because Talia's going to come over. But I'll just have to put my headphones in and she'll listen to her music and I'll listen to my video and it'll be fun. So, so that was that elopement. They were covering that while I was at Christina and Nick's wedding at Angel and Acre Farm, and it was a blast. And so that was my third for my business. And then I second shot again for Woodside Productions. I'm going to say that this was the second time. I don't know why they were in my calendar twice already, because I don't think I shot for them twice before this wedding. So then I second shot video for Woodside Productions, which was so fun because I've actually only second shot video one time, and it was like the first time I really did wedding videos. And that's where I learned a lot about like log, and they had me put my camera obviously into a bunch of these settings that I didn't really know a lot about. And so I was really grateful for that experience, and they knew that I didn't know anything. And so I was like, walk me through it, and they walked me through it, and it was really great. And I'm really grateful for that experience because I learned a lot, and now I'm having a blast, and I feel really confident and was able to further my business because of that second shooting opportunity that I got. So I love second shooting so much. But I haven't second shot video for anybody since, because I know some people are very particular about how their footage looks, especially with having like a gimbal and keeping things steady and stuff like that. But I like my footage handheld. I don't mind it. It's pretty steady. And even if it is a little shaky, I kind of like it that way. And so I just don't second shoot video for many people. Nobody's really asked. But even Zach asked, and I was like, if you're cool with it being handheld, like, yeah. And so they said yes, and I second shot for them, and they really liked the footage. And so I'm really excited to see that wedding, polished and finished with my footage. Because they had me go with the bridal suite while Zach was with the groomsmen, obviously. Not obviously, but that's the way it was. And that was really cool. So I'm excited and grateful that they let me do that, because not that one person is more important than the other, but the footage of the bride, you know what I mean? So, and he let me do that. And so that was really cool. And then the next event that I had, I second shot this past weekend for my friend Isabel, at St. Clement's. I love St. Clement's. Great venue. I've been there a handful of times, and it was just really nice to shoot for her, because I hadn't seen her since last February, I think, and she's just so nice, and it was really fun to be there for her. It was a church ceremony, and the couple was really nice. The groomsmen were fantastic. I got all their pictures done at the church, boom, 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 and it was just a really great wedding. The DJ was fantastic. They're retiring, though, unfortunately. I was gonna post their stuff, post a story being yes, this DJ. But then I didn't get their information, and I asked her about them, and she was like, they're not taking any more bookings. They're done. They're closing out after this year. And I was like, it was the best DJ I've ever seen, I want to say. One of. And I'm a little particular about the DJs a little bit. I love all DJs. I love everybody. But, when I see a good DJ where I'm this party is popping, oh, you can tell. He had the couple crowd surf they each crowd surfed separately. He was literally the best hype man I've ever seen in my life. It was fantastic. And now we're caught up this week, yesterday, today, tomorrow, editing. And then Thursday, I am doing a church ceremony at my childhood church. I'm not super religious, but I like know the church really well because I went there every Sunday from when I was like, I don't know, 5 till, I don't know, I guess it's probably only like 10 years, 15. But I know it well, and so I'm excited to be back. It's local. It's 30 minutes from my house. Short and sweet. I'm just doing the ceremony and group pictures after. It's one of my mom's coworkers' daughters. So that's fun. I'm going to know some people. And then I'm second shooting for Lauren on Friday. Saturday, Justine and I have a wedding at Millwrights. Cameron and Jake's wedding was at Wright's Mill, but this wedding is at Millwrights Restaurant. Totally different space. I'm so excited for Ashley and Matthew. Their engagement session was fantastic. We had their prep call a couple of weeks ago. Really nice to reconnect with them. And I'm just so excited for their day. It's a very chill restaurant micro wedding. It's like another one of my perfect favorite kinds of weddings. Love. I am so excited. And I'm really excited for Justine to come too. Because this is like, this one and Christina and Nick, 2 of my like most excited wedding. I think I'm excited for every wedding. I don't think I have a wedding I'm dreading. How could I? But I'm really excited for Justine to experience 2 of these really great weddings with me. Because we haven't shot together. We're good friends. We've, hung out before, but we haven't shot alongside each other as much as I would have liked. But she is associate shooting for me, and so I wanted her to come to more weddings with me. And these 2 were just like good picks. Like I'm patting myself on the back for this one too, where I'm like, damn, these were really good ones to get somebody to understand my style and how I pose and what I'm really all about, because these 2 couples are not into the posing and just want to party or have fun, mingle, and very candid and casual, and it's a good way to get to know me. So I'm excited about that. And then I have a family session on Sunday, which again, I don't really do, but they were one of my first couples ever. They were one of my first weddings, and they had a baby, and I did a family session for them last year, and they asked me back again. And so I'm going to go to their house on Sunday and photograph them and their son. And it's just crazy that I mean, like I said, I'm already like 4, almost 5 years into my business. Well, almost 4 years. I'm going into my 5th year of business, right? Yeah. And oh my gosh, it's just like people are having kids and like growing their families, and I'm watching it and I'm really feeling like so part of it, and I'm just like, stop. So so I'm like bittersweet to go. I'm excited about the fresh start that Alaska will have, and I've always itched and wanted to get out, and I'm so excited to finally be doing that. But at the same time, I'm like, I would love to photograph Lauren's family. Double Lauren, actually they're both Laurens. I would love to continue to photograph Julia and Nico, and I would love to film, Rebecca or Rachel and Charlie again, and maybe Rebecca and Brendan, and like all of these different couples like I would love to see again. Jess and Ray, but I'm going to be on the completely other coast, and it's a little bit sad. So I'm hoping that maybe I will come home for the Llama conference, or maybe I'll just come home regardless, once or twice a year, and maybe try to do like mini sessions with people, where maybe I'll just park myself in a park all day and be like, whoever wants to show up and say hi, you're welcome to come. Maybe I'll do something like that, or just do a newsletter or something and be like, I'll be in the area if anybody wants to shoot, and say hi again. I would love to do that, because I don't want to say goodbye to all these people, and I love watching their families and their marriage grow, and I don't want to miss that. And so I think I'm probably going to come home. I'm going to come home at least once a year, I think, besides the holidays. So twice a year total or more, just to be able to book those kinds of sessions and say hi to people. And I would love to second shoot for people again too. Like, I don't want to say goodbye to my photographer friends either, which is part of the reason why I'm doing the associate thing. one, it's really good security for me if, bookings take a while in Alaska for me to really get my legs, which I'm, hoping, and I have a strategy and everything's working out, but it is like good extra financial stability and security that, I already have a Connecticut base here and that I can continue to have that, which would be fantastic. And then I can continue to work and chat with my photographer friends across the country because they can continue to shoot for me. I just won't be there. So, I'm loving that, and I'm really excited for the weddings that we have next year booked like that. And I don't want to let that go. I hope that I can do that forever. That would be so much fun because I have so many amazing, talented friends who are just too busy to do very many of their own clients, but are available to shoot, and they're so good at it, but they just don't have time to edit because they have kids or they have other jobs. Or they have their own clients and want to book more, but just can't because they can't keep up. And so, it's been so good, and I'm really grateful and just happy that I did that, because I remember speaking on the podcast a year or two ago and being like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't know if I have that in me. But I don't know. I'm glad that I was push, and I'm grateful for Jen for that, because I think she helped me trust people and be like, do it, it's fine. So it's been good, and just super excited for what the future is going to bring and for the rest of busy season. So maybe we'll do another check-in. I guess oh my gosh, it's crazy that we're 5 months in, we're halfway into the year. So I know this quarter of the year, this 5 months, was very slow in comparison to what the next 7 are going to be. But maybe I'll do another recap later on for another solo episode if I have to do one later on in like November, December or something. But that has been a year in my business to date so far. And I hope that you guys loved revisiting all of these weddings and sessions with me. See you guys Monday after next. You can check us out on YouTube for video episodes if you want to watch us talk instead of just listening to us talk. That's my preference when I'm watching or listening to podcasts. I like to watch, see who's speaking. But we also are on Apple and Spotify. If you wouldn't mind leaving a review, that'd be fantastic. And Jen and I will be together hopefully in the next episode. Not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. So see you then, and cheers.